Hello everyone, and welcome to the Pre-Screening and Legal Review Volunteer Training. This volunteer training is for our lawyers and our BIA accredited representatives assisting at citizenship clinics for the pre-screening and legal review stations. My name is Anthony Paz and I'm the regional trainer with the Florida Immigrant Coalition. Today we're going to talk about the general rules and procedures that our lawyers and our BIA accredited representatives will be using and we'll be doing for our clinics when our applicants come in to fill out their N-400s and or fee waivers. Before we begin, I want to just go over the general flow chart of the clinic. So first we have our applicants coming in and registering for the clinic. When they register for the clinic, they're filling out their intake form, which is on the blue intake folder, which looks like this. It's a blue folder. When you open it up, there are papers on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side. The right-hand side will include the intake folder, the stop sign sheet, which we'll go over in a moment, and then personal documentation of where they've lived and worked in the last 5 years, information around travel, information around marriage, and information around children. They have to fill all of this out before they see a lawyer and or a BIA representative. Now the papers on the left-hand side will be for lawyers, and that's what we'll be looking at today as well. Once they finish their intake form and they get registered into the clinic, they'll go ahead and come over to our legal station. And this is where we do the pre-screening. So when our applicant comes up to the lawyer, yourself, you will ask for their intake folder, and you will ask for a copy of their green card or their green card. And when you open up the folder, on the right-hand side, you'll see the stop sign sheet. Make sure that everything is filled out. And any questions that are answered yes to, we would inquire on the nature of that question, which we'll go over in a minute as well. The first paper you'll see on the left-hand side is the pre-screening report. I know it's a little difficult to see here, so I'll just read it for you. First, you'll write the applicant's name. You'll write your name on the top, legal screening reviewer, and the date. And then number 1 says, how did the applicant gain LPR status? So you would ask the applicant. 1A, did the applicant disclose membership in a particular group in the home country at the time entering the U.S. seeking residency? If so, please write the name of the group and the dates of membership. 1B, are there any signs of fraud in the process of seeking residency? So you being a lawyer or a BIA accredited representative need to use your best judgment in finding this out. Now, I myself am not a lawyer nor an accredited BIA representative, so I'm assuming you would know more than me. So using your best judgment and knowing how to frame your question and gather that information, right? Number 2, has the applicant been a legal permanent resident for at least 4 years, 9 months, or at least 2 years and 9 months if the residency is gained through a marriage to a U.S. citizen? Yes or no? And then number 3, you would ask every question on the stop sign sheet. And so let's go back now to that stop sign sheet, right? This stop sign sheet is also a little difficult to read because it's kind of small, but it's basically a series of questions where we can identify any potential red flags. And in the process of asking these questions, we want to make sure there are a couple of things we keep in mind. So once again, using your best judgment, make sure that if there is any criminal record that they have answered yes to, for example, number 5, which states, have you ever been charged with a crime in the United States or in any other country? Have you ever been found guilty? Number 6, have you ever been found guilty of any offense in the U.S. or in any other country? Let's see, number 9, have you ever been stopped, detained, or arrested by an immigration official? So these questions are a hard stop. And these are the kinds of questions that, once again, as a lawyer or a BIA accredited representative, I would even say if you're a BIA accredited representative, it should just be a stop and should be sent to referral using your best judgment. Our lawyers, or inquiring with a lawyer, right? If I'm a BIA representative and this person has a criminal record, I would stop and I would ask a lawyer who has more expertise on it to see if we should proceed with their application process. Or once again, if you're the lawyer, then you can decide yourself. But just in general, we would prefer that applicants are referred for more in-depth screening with a lawyer at a legal service agency such as the Catholic Legal Services, than to have them apply and indirectly be turning them in, where they could face possible danger from an immigration agency, such as risk of losing their residency and or possibly having removal proceedings placed against them. So we don't want to indirectly turn our applicants into these agencies, these immigration agencies. So we want to make sure that although we want to have as many completed applications as possible and we want to have as many happy applicants as possible, we also want to make sure we're really serving their best interests, right? So using your best judgment on that. And if they answer yes on number 19, the question on number 19 says, were you under 18 when either of your parents became a U.S. citizen? If they answered yes, they would be referred to do the N600. We do not do N600s at our citizenship clinics, so it would be referred to a legal service agency. And this is the application for a certificate of citizenship. They may already be able to get their citizenship much quicker if this is the case. So going back to the screening form, number 4, once we finish number 3, which is asking them every question on the stop sign sheet and they've passed, does the applicant have the essential information about his or her residency, employment, school, trips of the last 5 years, spouse, and children? Now, this question applies to the documents that are on the right-hand side. Once the applicant has filled out their intake form, has filled out their stop sign sheet, the remaining 3 documents on the right-hand side of the folder is this information that it's asking for. If they have everything that they need, then you would put yes and proceed. If they put no, and they're missing information, it's not information they can gather right now, then unfortunately they will not be able to receive our services at the clinic. They will not be able to fill out their N400 because this information is necessary to complete that application, in which case they would just get a pending yellow sticker on it and send them over to exit so that they can come back for another clinic. And we'll talk about the stickers and the colors in a moment so you can see what I mean. Number 5 relates to number 4 as well. Does the applicant need to gather any additional information before proceeding, right? Number 6, does the applicant fit within the FNA legal referral guidelines and have the necessary information and documents to fill out an N400 today? Yes or no? Should the applicant fill out an N600? Once again, we're not doing that, so we would probably cross that part out. Do you recommend the applicant return with additional information? This is if they're missing information, if we're not clear on something. If not, do you recommend a referral to legal services agency? Number 7, is the applicant eligible for a fee waiver based on means-tested benefits? Yes or no? Is the applicant eligible for fee waiver based on household income? Yes or no? And the last question, does the applicant have a possible financial hardship? This question we're not really going to address at our clinics, specifically if you are volunteering for a citizenship clinic that is either hosted or co-hosted by the Florida Immigrant Coalition. If you're doing a clinic at another location, it's possible that the organization leading that clinic may be doing financial hardship at their fee waiver station, but we at the Florida Immigrant Coalition will not be doing those, so we would skip that one too. And number 8, did you explain your recommendation? Fill out the applicant's notes from, I can't read, for exit form, if appropriate. So this is for the exit station in explaining your recommendation. And then the last one, this is where we address the stickers. Please put the correct sticker on the folder cover and direct the applicant for the next station. So if they put a green dot right here, if they put a green sticker, that means they're good to go. They've got the thumbs up from the lawyer and they're ready to proceed with the N400 application assistance, which is at the N400 station. If they get a blue sticker, they're eligible for the fee waiver, in which case they would also go to the fee waiver. In most of our clinics, our applicants who get blue stickers are also ready to do the citizenship N400 application as well, so they would get a green and a blue sticker, in which case they would go to green first and then go to blue. If they get a yellow sticker, this is pending. That means there's something missing, they need additional information, they need to come back for a future clinic, and they will go ahead and head over to exit with further instructions, final instructions. And if they get a red sticker, this is a red flag, this is a hard stop, this is they had a criminal record and we don't feel comfortable with them proceeding and filling out the application because it can jeopardize their application, much less their life. So sending them and to the exit station with a referral for further screening with a lawyer at a legal service agency. So once they have gotten the green light, right, and they go to the N400 station, we already know what to do with applicants who get yellow stickers and applicants who get red stickers. They go straight to exit, where they get final instructions on what to do. If they get a green sticker or a green and a blue sticker, the next place for them to go to would be the N400 station. Once they finish their N400 application, they would head over to fee waiver, finish their fee waiver application, and once they have completed these two forms, they would come back to the legal station, or sometimes our lawyers would head on over to exit and support an exit and perform legal review there as well, in which case, and it all depends on the flow of the clinic, right? But the main point here is folks get registered, they see a lawyer, they fill out their forms, N400 fee waiver, then they go back to a lawyer one more time for a final review before going to exit. And when they do final review, this is the form that they're looking at. They're looking at Part 2, Final Legal Review. You want to verify that all the applications are in the folder and are needed with copies attached. If there's a green dot, there should be an N400 and a copy of the front and back of the legal permanent residency card. If there's a blue dot, there should be an I-912 or an I-942, copy of the public benefit letter or tax return. The I-942 is the reduced fee waiver, which of course you should know. Number 2, review the entire N400 application for accuracy and completeness. You want to make sure that the numbers and the dates are correct, the addresses and employment for all 5 years are correct, travel days are correct, the A number is correct on every page, there are no missed questions, and the family information is complete. Number 3, you want to review the entire N400 application for legal sufficiency using the FNA legal referral guidelines, making sure any needed addendums have been added, and reminding the applicant that answers must be truthful in order for the application to be prepared properly. And if you have any questions, ask our legal supervisor. There'll be a supervisor at each station, and our legal supervisor will be there at hand. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask them. Number 4, verify that the applicant has signed and dated the N400 application. Number 5, verify that the N400 Part 13 preparer's information is filled out and signed. And you want to make sure that the information is FLIC information, not personal information by the preparer. And interpreter information, most of the times we don't have that filled out, but in the event that we do, making sure that it's filled out only when appropriate, and that means that it was completed because the applicant needed translation for Part 12, which is a series of 50 questions that they needed to answer yes or no to. Then number 7, you want to review the I-912 form for accuracy, completeness, and legal sufficiency, or the I-942, which is the reduced fee waiver. And then number 8, you indicate your recommendations and finally sign off the form. So your recommendations: A, have you reviewed the completed applications, and do you recommend that the applicant continue today to the exit station with the completed applications? You would check off for the I-912, you would check off for the N400 if you reviewed it and you do recommend that the applicant continue today. The N600 would be left blank because once again we don't do N600s. B, do you recommend that the applicant return to an FNA workshop after gathering additional documents and information? Yes or no? C, do you recommend that the applicant receive a referral to a legal service agency based on a review? Yes or no? For assistance with N400, for assistance with I-912. And D, do you recommend that the applicant seek help with English language skills in order to prepare for the naturalization interview? Yes or no? And the legal reviewer signs off on it and dates it. Now, one more point that I want to emphasize is specifically on 8D. Do you recommend that the applicant seek help with English language skills in order to prepare for the naturalization interview? This is a question that's addressed at the very, very end of legal review, but it's a question that needs to be brought up at the very, very beginning at pre-screening, right after they get registered into the clinic. So every applicant that you receive at the pre-screening station, once they're registered, before they do N400s, before they do I-912s, before they see anybody else and they see you first, you want to make sure that they either qualify for the exemption from the English language test, or if they do not qualify, that they're made aware of it and they're asked if they're able to or willing to prepare for the English language test. We don't want folks to go through this entire process only to find out at the very end, at the exit station, someone finds out that they don't speak English and they don't qualify for the exemption and they were not aware of it and they already filled out the N400. 2 to 3 hours of going through this entire process only to receive the disheartening news that they would fail the test and that they do not qualify. I have worked at the exit station myself not being a lawyer, not being a BIA accredited representative, and still finding that applicants find out at the very end that they do not speak English and they were not informed about not being eligible for the exemption. So this is something that lawyers need to make sure that they're aware of and that they bring up to their applicants. It shouldn't be exit station's job to find out at the very, very end, right? So keep that in mind. So this is the general overview of the roles and procedures of our legal review and pre-screening stations for our lawyers and BIA accredited representatives. Those are the two forms that we use for the clinic, the pre-screening and the final legal review sheets. If you have any other further questions or inquiries, please feel free to email us at fna@floridaimmigrant.org or call our main office at 305-571-7254. Once again, my name is Anthony Paz and I'm the regional trainer for the Florida Immigrant Coalition. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support and taking your time to support us at our clinics, and we hope to see you soon. Take care.